It started with a simple modern-day problem, a dying phone. For the Thompson family, it was a minor inconvenience that would unravel into their worst nightmare, exposing a predator they had willingly invited into their home and trusted with their most precious possession, their 2-year-old daughter, Lily. Sarah Thompson's phone had given up its ghost, its battery drained to zero during a frantic day of errands, and she needed to make an urgent call to her husband. Their babysitter, Maya, a quiet, polite college student who had been nothing but wonderful with Lily for the past 3 months, offered her phone without a second's hesitation. It was a kind gesture, one that solidified Sarah's trust. But as Sarah took the device, her thumb accidentally swiped, closing the messaging app and sending her to the phone's home screen. And there, in the search bar of the internet browser, were the recently searched terms, a list that made Sarah's blood run cold. The first one read, "How to make a child sleep longer." Innocent enough, perhaps, but the one below it was, "Fast-acting sedatives for toddlers." And below that, the search that stopped Sarah's heart. "Can you overdose a child on Benadryl?" The world seemed to slow down. The cheerful sounds of Lily playing in the next room suddenly felt menacing. Sarah's mind raced, trying to find an innocent explanation, a college project, a morbid curiosity. But then she remembered the last few weeks. Lily had been unusually drowsy after Maya's shifts. She'd been difficult to wake from her naps, her little body limp. They'd chalked it up to growth spurts, to a mild virus. Now, a terrifying new pattern was emerging. With a trembling hand, Sarah quickly opened the phone's notepad app. What she found there was even more damning. It was a list, meticulously organized, dates and times corresponding to her own work schedule. Next to them, dosages: 10 milliliters, worked, slept 4 hours. 15 milliliters, too much, vomited. This wasn't a theoretical query. This was a log, a chilling experiment conducted on her daughter. Sarah felt a wave of nausea so powerful she had to grip the kitchen counter. She managed to make her call, her voice a strained octave higher, telling her husband to come home immediately.
When he arrived, they confronted Maya. The girl's friendly demeanor vanished in an instant, replaced by a cold, defensive anger. She claimed it was for a psychology paper, a claim that evaporated when they demanded the name of her professor and the assignment details. She snatched her phone and fled, leaving the Thompsons in a state of shock and terror. Their first call was to their pediatrician, who told them to bring Lily to the emergency room immediately. Blood tests confirmed the unthinkable. There were elevated levels of diphenhydryl, the active ingredient in Benadryl, in their toddler's system. The doctor explained the immense danger. In high doses, the drug could cause seizures, respiratory depression, and even death in a child so small. The Thompsons' second call was to the police. The investigation that followed was a digital deep dive into Maya's life. Her search history was a roadmap to premeditated harm. They found searches for symptoms of child drug overdose, how to hide needle marks, and parental rights termination laws. It became clear that Maya, overwhelmed by the demands of an energetic toddler, had chosen the most sinister shortcut imaginable. She wasn't a monster in the classic sense. She was a seemingly normal young woman who had rationalized the poisoning of a child as a solution to her own inconvenience. She was charged with child endangerment, assault, and administering a noxious substance. The case never went to a full trial. The evidence was too overwhelming. She accepted a plea deal and was sentenced to several years in prison. For the Thompson family, the emotional sentence was lifelong. The trust they had in the world was shattered. Every babysitter, every caregiver would now be viewed through a lens of painful suspicion. So I have to ask you, what would you have done in that moment? Would you have confronted the sitter immediately or waited for the police? Let me know what you think in the comments. This story is a stark reminder that in the digital age, the truth is often just a click away, hiding in plain sight within a search bar.
It begs the question, how well do we really know the people we trust? Tell me where you're watching from. Drop your city in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Criminal Codex for more true crime stories. See you in the next one, where the truth waits to be uncovered.